What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we have two LeBeau Paradise Garden clones slash inspired fragrances, because one's a little bit of a twist and one's trying to be a carbon copy, and both are excellent. I'm gonna tell you right here and now. You saw them in the thumbnail and the title. Lattafa Najdia Intense, and one of the new ones from Paris Corner. This is Cosmic Giardino. These are both excellent. This is more carbon copy. This is a slight twist, and we'll discuss the differences both in the smoothness between the fragrances, which actually being less smooth makes one more accurate than the other, and a couple nuance changes from being a carbon copy to being inspired performance, and which I prefer. There's links down below for both of them if you want to check them out. You can grab this one, you can grab this one, you can grab neither, or you can just enjoy the video. So I'm cool with all of the above. I just appreciate you being here. So let's break it down, shall we? Stay tuned. So let's go in order of which I got them. So Lattafa Najdia Intense. This one is very much more carbon copy, walking the path. Now, slight twist here, because you do have some pineapple up top, which you don't really get from LeBeau Paradise Garden. That's more of a LeBeau Le Parfum type of thing, but this is still very green and ginger dominant, with the coconut water smell and the citrus and the sweet tonka bean, the powdery tonka bean, all the good stuff that Paradise Garden does have. And this one does lean that synthetic, chemically synthetic, unnatural smell that LeBeau Paradise Garden does offer, which, I mean, to some maybe a turn off. To me, I quite enjoy it. So this one actually pretty accurate overall. I would put that 85 to 90% accurate range, with the biggest outlier being the pineapple note. Wow, smells great in here. If we're going for accuracy, shouldn't be in here, but it doesn't take away from the experience. If anything, it adds a little something extra to make it not quite exactly the same fragrance, but still overall hard to deny they were going for LeBeau Paradise Garden here with the smell. So a bit more synthetic, a bit more fruity than the other one we're going to be talking about as far as the pineapple, but just as synthetic smelling and sharp as the original. Whereas Cosmic Giardino, here it's more focused on the fig, a little bit of this salty coconut water smell. So this one's a little bit more inspired by. Immediately the first time I smelled it, there was no denying this was Paradise Garden. But this is a smoother fragrance, which makes it a bit different from the original. This is more accurate to being as chemically synthetic and sharp, whereas this is a smoother fragrance. And this is a different type of fruitiness because it's more centered around the fruitiness of the fig note, instead of some pineapple note, which this doesn't have. This also omits the ginger. You don't get that raw ginger smell, and it's not quite as green. So again, this one has more of a twist. I would say this one's more like 70 to 80% accurate to LeBeau Paradise Garden. But I think that kind of lends it in favor if you have Paradise Garden already, or other fragrances, even this one, that smells closer to it. This one brings something different to the fold, and again, it's a smoother fragrance. And it smells fantastic. Those of you that prefer a really good fig note, you probably like this one more. If you want more fruity, you want, like traditional fruity, juicy fruit type of stuff, pineapple, bergamot, kind of the calling card for this particular line. But this one, it's more of an aquatic, because again, more sea salt, saltwater focused, coconut water, less of a sunscreen smell, and more of this fruity fig smell. It's a very juicy fig, not quite a bitter fig or like a fig leaf type of smell. It's more like the juicy meat of the fig itself. So I kind of prefer the way this one smells because it's smoother, and I don't know, that fig, coconut water, sea salt combo with omitting the ginger and the pineapple of this one, kind of a bit more attractive. If I was going carbon copy route, if I'm looking for the direct copy, this is going to be the closer representation. But just overall enjoyment of wearing and smelling the fragrance, I lean to this one. I think, for my money, Cosmic Giardino smells better. Now, performance between the two, both are above average. Now, I would consider this more in that 8-ish hour, even above and beyond. Let's say 8+ hour. Not monstrous 12 hours type of longevity, but let's say in that 7 to 9 hour range of longevity. Projections definitely on the heavier side in the first hour to hour and a half, with sillage being kind of moderate to mild because of a little bit of nose fatigue, because again, very sharp and synthetic overall, so it does wear my nose out a little bit. It's probably a bit stronger than I actually realized, but I would call this one pretty well above average overall because it's got really good longevity. Whereas Cosmic Giardino, I would say 6 to 8 hour range in longevity. Maybe drops an hour or two in longevity based on my time with it so far. Projection, I would say, is pretty much what and what. It's pretty heavy in the first hour to hour and a half. And then the sillage kind of sets into, again, moderate to mild. Nice little light whiffs here and there. I think the biggest difference between the two that my nose can tell anyways is a slight longevity difference, where I think this one's a little bit longer lasting than this one. It still very much could be a nose fatigue thing, because I'm sure I'm experiencing it with this one, where I know for certain I'm definitely experiencing it with this one. I've had more experience with Lattafa Najdia Intense than I have Cosmic Giardino, but kind of comes down to kind of a coin flip, really, based on my experience and performance. Your experience is probably going to vary regardless of which one you get, or if you were to get both. But if I have to give the edge in performance, it's Najdia Intense performs a little bit better. All right, $1 million question, but not really a $1 million question. If I had to get one, which one am I getting? With the performance being almost trivial because it's pretty close overall, it's not a big enough gap. Like if it was a 4 to 5 hour difference in longevity, that's a big gap. Hour to 2 hours, when you're beyond the 6 hour mark and you're in that 8 hour territory, I find it to be a bit more trivial at that stage. Projection and sillage being pretty much what and what to what I can tell. It comes down to the scent profile and the wearing experience for me, because I would wear them in the exact same situations, both in hotter spring weather and definitely summertime weather. They're both great tropical beach vacation, summertime fragrances. Again, hot spring and definitely summer. You know, any age, anybody can enjoy them. They lean a little masculine, but again, ladies can enjoy this as well. So all of that's pretty much a coin flip, a crapshoot, if you will. Becomes irrelevant because it's pretty much the same for both. So I do prefer the smoothness and the kind of twist on the profile, where this is less of a direct clone and more of an inspired by fragrance. That's usually the way I'm going to lean, especially when I have the original, because I do have the original. I have all of the Le Beaus to date at the recording of this, the original EDT, the Le Parfum, Paradise Garden, and Flower Edition. I'm hoping the next round is finally Le Beau Elixir. Fingers crossed that's the next one we get, because it's popular. They're going to keep churning them out. They're going to keep twisting the DNA if we're going to keep buying them. And it's popular and we keep buying them. So to the point where brands are cloning these designer fragrances, these mid-level synthetic designer fragrances. And that's one of the reasons I lean to this one. Is it's actually smoother than the original from Jean Paul Gaultier, and it's smoother than the Lattafa fragrance. So for me, just the enjoyment of the wearing experience is a little bit better with Cosmic Giardino. So if I'm picking just one between the two, I'm going Paris Corner's Cosmic Giardino. Now, I know you guys are going to ask, what about the new Afnan fragrance? It's not here yet. I ordered it. What about Hawash Tropical? I ordered it. It's not here yet. We'll be doing those. We'll be doing those in individual videos. Maybe we'll circle back and do a versus on all 4 of them and see which one. Does this one still reign supreme? Is it Afnan's fragrance is better? I don't know. But for where we're at between these two right now, I'm going this one. You can pick this one up from Aroma Concepts down in the link down below and save 10%. You can pick this one up from Perfume Box down in the link below and save. There's a 5% code. So that is up to you guys if you want to check them out. I definitely prefer the Paris Corner that came from Aroma Concepts. I think that's the clear winner for me personally here in this particular video. While Paris Corner doesn't always hit it out the park, and I would say overall, historically, Lattafa has more hits than misses. I think in the last couple of years, Paris Corner has really elevated their game, and one of the best places to grab them is definitely from Aroma Concepts. It's where most of my Paris Corner fragrances over the last several years have come from. So thank you guys for checking out the video. Hope this was helpful, informative, or entertaining in some form or fashion for you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you leave. We'll see you on the next one.